You sit with your closest friends and somehow still feel like you're performing. You laugh at the right moments, you say the version of the story they expect, and by the time you get home, you feel strangely exhausted, not because you dislike them, but because somewhere in the conversation, you disappeared again. Most people would probably call you social, easygoing, adaptable, but inside it feels like you're constantly adjusting invisible settings. Your tone, your reactions, your opinions, like your personality changes shape depending on who's in the room. And after enough years, you start wondering something uncomfortable. If every version of you is slightly edited, which one is actually real? Psychology calls this self-monitoring. Your brain becomes highly focused on social feedback, facial expressions, tone shifts, moments of approval or rejection. Instead of expressing yourself naturally, your mind starts predicting reactions before you even speak. It's like living with an invisible audience inside your head. And at first, this behavior works. People like you avoid conflict, you become emotionally adaptable. But the hidden cost is identity confusion. Because when your brain constantly prioritizes harmony, your real thoughts slowly become quieter, your preferences blur, your opinions soften before they fully form. You become skilled at fitting in while slowly disconnecting from yourself. And the painful part is this: sometimes the people closest to you have never met the unedited version of you. This pattern usually begins much earlier in life. A child notices which emotions create tension, which behaviors get rewarded, which parts of their personality feel too much. So the nervous system adapts, quietly. It learns that connection requires adjustment, and over time, that adjustment becomes automatic, not fake, automatic, like emotional muscle memory. That's why you are not broken. Your brain simply became overtrained in social survival, and the human brain is extremely good at survival, especially social survival. From an evolutionary perspective, rejection once meant danger. Humans survived through belonging. Your nervous system still carries traces of that ancient wiring. To your brain, losing connection can feel emotionally unsafe, so it creates protective strategies, masking, people-pleasing, emotional editing, not because you're manipulative, because your brain is trying to protect your connection with others. Imagine your personality like a radio signal. When you're alone, the signal is clear, but around other people, interference appears, their expectations, their moods, their reactions. Eventually, you stop hearing your own frequency beneath the noise, and that's why socializing can feel strangely draining, because you are not only talking, you are monitoring yourself the entire time. How did that sound? Did that seem awkward? Should I say less? That constant scanning consumes mental energy, and eventually, you become tired of performing versions of yourself. But authenticity does not mean suddenly becoming brutally honest. That usually overwhelms the nervous system. Real authenticity is quieter than that. It begins with recognition, simply noticing when you start editing yourself, not judging it, just noticing it. Maybe you change your opinion to avoid tension. Maybe you laugh at something you didn't find funny. Maybe you hide small parts of yourself automatically. Awareness matters because the brain cannot change patterns it cannot see. Then comes something even more important: learning to tolerate tiny moments of honesty. Not dramatic honesty, tiny honesty. Saying, "I don't know," admitting you actually dislike something, allowing silence without rushing to fix it. And when those small moments do not lead to rejection, your nervous system slowly recalibrates. The brain begins learning something new. Being real is not always dangerous, and over time, you stop feeling like a performance. You stop translating yourself for every room you enter. You begin feeling more solid, more connected, more present. Not because you became a different person, but because you stopped abandoning yourself in invisible moments. Maybe the real version of you was never missing. Maybe it simply learned to hide whenever connection felt uncertain. And healing might just be teaching your nervous system that you no longer need to disappear to belong.